And I had even written that down at one point. I want a little cottage in the woods.
We made it to Siloam Springs this weekend, and we have a super special Airbnb that we're gonna stay in, and we're gonna tell you all about it. Right now, we're gonna grab some grub. We're eating at a place called Fratelli's, and they have stromboli, and I very rarely find stromboli anywhere. So I'm super excited about it. And I asked for extra marinara, and I got it. And I like extra marinara. This will all be gone in just a minute. We're eating outside, and the temperature is perfect.
Yeah.
And we also are hearing some music play. So we're gonna follow the sound of the music and see what happens. So this weekend, we are staying in a super special Airbnb. It's called Gwen's Nest, and it is here in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. One of the things that makes it so special to me is that the Gwen is right here with us, and it is my Aunt Gwen. So she's gonna tell us a little bit about how this all came to life in case you ever get the opportunity to come to Siloam Springs and stay in Gwen's Nest. What are all the places that people can access this? Is it Airbnb only, or are there other avenues?
Verbo.
Airbnb and Verbo. Okay. What made you want to do this? And you know, I know you, so I know you've lived in amazing, charming old homes and are really, really good at remodeling them. What makes this one a little different?
I think it reminded me maybe of old chicken houses I fixed up for playhouses when I lived out home when Mom and Dad had us out in the country. It was about to fall down, but I wanted to be in the country. I was living in the historical district of Siloam Springs, which was wonderful, but I got this itch or whatever to be back out in the country.
Yeah.
And so just kind of had my feelers out for a place.
Yeah.
And this one came available. It was built in 1904.
Oh my goodness.
And it had sat empty for several years actually before I bought it. And there was a lot of little forest animals, I think, that resided in here.
Well, you wouldn't know that. For everyone will see video clips of this, and you would never know that it had been loved for years and years and years.
That's Todd's thing, you know, and I told him, I said, I want to save everything possible original to the house, but I want you to button it up so tight that an ant can't get in it. So we kept the original floors and all the original wood, which I put some paint on, and we kept everything original that we could to the house. The back of the house has an upper deck. It overlooks what we people in Arkansas call the holler. And so the house is built on the side of this hill or mountain or holler, whatever. And the upper deck overlooks it, but there's also a lower deck underneath it off of the bedrooms. And last summer, I had a little nook out there when they had added a utility room out, and it jutted out onto the deck, and it left a little nook back there, and I would study it and look at it. I think, what could I do with that? And then one day it dawned on me, well, the plumbing was just on the other side of the wall to the washer and dryer. And so we just brought the plumbing through and put in an outdoor shower so you can shower in the woods down there in that screen.
I love it. So it's early on Sunday morning, and the sun is just coming up, and I decided to come out here and take advantage of this outdoor shower. And I love how it's super private. So check this out. There are these little curtains that you can just pull to help make it extra private. So I just pulled them on that side, pulled them on this side, and then all I had was this incredible view in front of me, and the water was super hot. I loved it.
I think my favorite place in the whole world, though, is sitting in my mom and dad's porch swing on this porch of a morning when the sunshine comes up over that mountain, and I sit out there and drink my coffee and pray and listen to the birds and listen to them talk to each other. And, you know, anyway, I love that. I love it.
So when we got here last night, we came out and sat on the porch, and I mentioned to Jamin that Aunt Gwen had a swing set out here that, you know, in my head it was like, that's so cool. That's just like how Grandpa and Grandma used to have a swing set on their porch. And then come to find out, it is Grandpa and Grandma's swing from their porch that I have swung on many, many times. And many members of our family would think this would be really special. So I just think it's pretty cool that she actually put the exact swing in her house too.
How are you hoping people feel when they come and stay here?
Peace. I actually pray over the house before a guest comes in that they can receive whatever it is they need from here. And most of the time I hear it's so peaceful. But also it's quiet, which makes it peaceful. You don't hear much out here except for the birds, which is really awesome. And I think people come here just to get out of the fast pace of life and kind of regroup. And that's even why I put this little "Be Still and Know I Am God" right out before you go out this door, because it was a reminder for me to, you know, just be still and just observe what He's created and just see how it all works together. I've even noticed that some that come here they've got big plans to tour the Northwest Arkansas, which has so much to offer. But I noticed a lot of times they never leave. And they've even said so. We came here with these plans, but we just decided to stay on the porch. They relaxed. It was so quiet. Some of them have never experienced that quiet. You know, they'd never been in a place where they absolutely could not hear traffic or, you know, or cars speeding by, you know, so anyway.
What are some of the most interesting requests that you have gotten from people who've come to stay here?
You know, they're all pretty typical. I do remember one parent that was coming in for their college student here at JBU to be with them, and she kept sending texts, "Do you have a waffle iron?" And I thought, you know, that's not really anything an Airbnb usually stocks, is a waffle iron. But I thought, and then I'd forget about it. And she had booked months in advance, and so later
there's a lot of time between all this, yeah.
And I thought, and I'd make a mental note, I need to get a waffle iron. But anyway, she was very insistent on this waffle iron. Well, come to find out, her college student, that was his favorite thing. And she was coming here and she was, you know, well, both of them were coming, the parents. And she wanted to treat him to his favorite food, and that was real important to her. So consequently, one day when I was buying groceries, I saw one in Aldi's that was very reasonably priced, and so I bought it. And it was one that the hotels have, you know, like that. And you flip it, and my grandson, my little 10-year-old grandson, saw it, and his eyes got so big. He said, "I've wanted one of those forever." And so when my guests left, I took the waffle iron to him. So if anyone else, comes that wants a waffle iron, I'll go borrow it from Jack.
We'll figure that out. Right. Jack will loan the waffle iron.
Jack will give it back to me, I'm sure, for a while.
That's so cute. I love how like you cater to your guests.
We've had honeymooners in here, and a lot of anniversary couples come, they want a little retreat where it's quiet. And actually, we had a young couple that lives in the area that his parents were coming from overseas for the first time to the States, and they were going to be celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary while they were here. And so she asked if I could do something extra for them. So I got to decorate for an anniversary with flowers and,
that's nice.
Things like that, which was fun. And I feel like I've got the best for my quirky personality, because I love people. I love hospitality. I love old houses, and I love nature. And when I saw this little house, I thought, this fits everything I ever wanted. But when I was able to acquire this little place, and my son-in-law took the challenge of renovating it, which I still gotta pat him on the back. He was
kudos, Todd.
brave. He was so brave. Anyway, I just thought, this is really what I always dreamed of, even as a little girl. Just living in a little cottage in the woods.
I love it.
And I had even written that down at one point. I want a little cottage in the woods. Once I got it livable, and people would come visit, and they were in awe of mostly the setting and whoever built it. I don't know how in the world they figured out how to put it on this hillside in the woods, but it was just so appealing for peace, everybody. And so then I was living in it. It was my home, and I thought, I need to share this.
If people could come and stay on any day of the year, what kind is the time frame, the window that you'd be like, oh, here's a good idea?
January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
All of them.
All of them.
I love it.
Because I've been here all 4 seasons, and I have sat out in that porch swing every season. I've sat out there during thunderstorms. I've sat out there when it was snowing and see the cardinals, and see the snow in the sun, and I can go back to nature here, but the fall probably is my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah, spring is fun too, though, seeing the trees leaf out, and some of them bloom. Have a lot of red buds scattered through the woods in the spring, and that's pretty. It can get pretty hot here.
Yeah.
And so the middle of the day in the summer.
But even then, they can go to that new water park, the WOKA water park, and enjoy the sunshine and cool off in the river.
So we're here at WOKA, and this stands for the Waters of Oklahoma and Arkansas. It's a water park on an actual river. So you've got like these natural waters coming through, but they put some things in here to help make the waters give them different levels of difficulty for kayakers and different people to come and play around in the waters. It's pretty new, and it's October, so you would think it'd be a little too cold, but there's actually people out here. It's really nice. The sun feels amazing out here. One of the things that's really special about this is it's new, and it was a $33 million project that was put together by the city of Siloam Springs, and they partnered with the Walton Family Foundation to make this possible. It's definitely going to be a big draw, so if you're here in Siloam Springs, definitely spend some time to check it out.
There's so much to do in the area. Wintertime, it kind of shuts down because most everything's around water in this part of the state, the lakes and the river and all that. But in this little house in the wintertime, grab a book and light the fireplace. And this little part is almost cabiny in the winter, where this part is more like, I don't know, it's like, so the house is multi-seasonal.
Yes, I love it.
So Hilarie stole this plant from the Airbnb that we just stayed in.
She gave it to me. Thank you, Aunt Gwen.